Hello, hello, hello. It is Cassandra Terry, and today is Transformation Tuesday. I want to welcome you all to the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. And this morning's topic is, as always on Tuesday, transformation. So I've got my crew here with me, Mr. J. Pasqua to my left. I, I think Denise is there to the right, but we can't see Denise because we're so captivated by her view. But I think she's in the frame somewhere, whatever, whatever. And then there's, but we're not jealous, Denise, not jealous at all. Y'all look at that view. Isn't that a great way to start your day? Can you imagine waking up to that every day? Beautiful. Eric's not doing too bad. It's cold where he is, so it probably feels the opposite of what Denise is feeling, but it's beautiful nonetheless. And then we've got the homie, the buddy, the brother, the big bro, Mr. Brian Smart. Mr. Content is with us as well. We may see him before the show is up, but if not, isn't that like the best emoji ever? I really want him to make me one. Good morning, Coral from across the pond. Coral said, "Hi, awesome people. Great to see you all. Welcome, you guys on TikTok. Welcome from Instagram. We are just getting started, and y'all, mind over matter, mind over matter. I got up a little bit early and dusted myself off, and I'm getting the energy level back up. The crew has been holding it down for me because I went on my 24-year wedding anniversary trip and had a wonderful time. But I brought back something with me that I didn't intend. By the time I got back, I was testing positive for COVID. And thank God the symptoms were manageable. So I can't complain because it could have been much worse than what it was. I'm just trying to get my energy level back up. So after talking for a little bit, I get super winded and tired. But I don't have to worry about that, right? That's the beauty of community. That's the beauty of collaboration. I've got a group of folks who love me, who care about me, who care about what it is that we're doing. They bring their own special flavor to it. So we may have arrived here in different ways, but we're headed in the same direction, and that feels good. I know I'm never alone. Even when I wasn't feeling well, I could turn this on and listen to their voices and hear them keeping things going while I was recuperating. So that in and of itself is a blessing. So Fam Five, I am so grateful for each and every one of you as an individual, and I am certainly grateful for the collective that we have formed, and all of you cousins and folks out there who support. We hear you say our names. We hear the recognition when we come into the rooms. We see you showing up and collaborating with us and sharing your thoughts about what we do and how we might do it better. And we appreciate each and every one of you. And Fam Five, I met somebody last night on my evening room. Well, I didn't meet her. She's been around for quite a while, but it was my first time really hearing her story. And we've got to decide if it's going to be here or Soul Tank or Talk with Queens. But this lady's story needs to be heard, and I want us to bring her own out of her shell and make sure more people hear Dr. Dorothea and her story. So I'm going to reach out to her later on and see what her schedule's like, and see where it makes sense for us to bring her in. Because as much as we love the Fam Five, we love the community at large. And when we hear great stories and people doing great things, we want to shine a light on that. And I was blown away by Dr. Dorothea. A lot of what she said really was similar to my story. But man, her resilience and perseverance and what she's been able to accomplish, her beginning in no way dictated where she is today. And that's what we're all about, right? Showing up and telling people there's a whole lifetime behind what you see. There's a whole lifetime behind what you hear. We didn't just spring up and everything that we've accomplished be as it is today. There was a journey, and in telling that journey, I believe that we all have a story. And I love that we've got the storytelling strategist right here, my brother Jay Pasqua. The reason that our stories are so important is, for one, It reminds us of our journey. It gives us so much to be grateful for. It gives us encouragement and helps us to build up that self-efficacy so we can see. Sometimes when you look back over your life, you don't even realize how much you've accomplished. We know all the dips and the valleys and the hard spots. We can recite those song and verse, but sometimes we forget just how much we've accomplished. Transformation has been happening our entire lives. But we're here to remind you of that and to help you to recognize that you've already gone through multiple transformations at this point in your life, but you're not done. You are not done. And today's quote, let me see if I can grab it for you guys. Today's quote really brings that home. And it says, to exist is to change is to mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly. You're not done. Transformation is an ongoing process. So you'll look back on your life 5 years from now and go, whoa, didn't think this is where my journey was going to take me. Didn't realize I was going to see, experience, do all of these things. Or you can look back and you can see every tough moment and you can ruminate, Jay, on those and have a completely different experience. But if you're willing to shift your mindset just a bit and to allow yourself to see the blessings in every experience that you've had to date, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. It all brought you to where you are now. It's all significant. It's all important. It's all a part of your journey. And when we start to see our collective lives that way, we can shift our mindset and we can find more joy. We can find more accomplishment. We can find more things to be grateful for. And so transformation is not a thing that happens to us at one point in time. It's not something that we do. I want to transform from this size to that size, from this thing to that thing. It is an ongoing process. And the Fam Five is here to remind you to be mindful and to wake up and to tap in and to know that the difference between someone who efficiently and effectively gets where they're going and someone who just arrives somewhere is typically being awake, being tapped in and aware, and that you're making decisions every day. You're taking actions every single day that are taking you somewhere. But when you wake up, you grab hold of that transformation. You participate in that transformation instead of just being drugged by the circumstances of life. You actually put yourself back in the driver's seat and make sure that you're making choices, that you're taking actions that are going to get you where it is that you want to go. That's going to allow that ever evolving life of yours, that consistent, constant transformation to actually land you where it is that you would like to be. We all have that power. We just have to wake up and recognize it and take it and not just go with the flow. So, our verse for today, to exist is to change is to mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly. So, Jay, I'm going to pitch it over to you. And how does that verse grab you? What do you have on your mind this morning?
Wow. Well, um, I think that what I hear is the entire book of Proverbs, right? As you know, if you're a Christian and you understand the Bible, Proverbs is about basically instructions how to live a godly life. And the specific chapter and verse I'm thinking of this morning is chapter 3, verse 13. So blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. And so it goes back to your quote, to exist is to change is to mature, and to mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly. This is the pursuit of wisdom. the pursuit of being mindful of yourself, the pursuit of understanding yourself, knowing who you are, and knowing where you're going. And that changes, right? I didn't know I was going to be where I'm at today, really, honestly, 5 years ago. Just thinking about what you were talking about. 5 years ago, I was content to be in my corporate job. And that changed. It changed to me overnight, but I think it was something in me that was changing. And that, I think, takes a lot of time. And it just comes to a point where you have to understand what's happening and you have to be mindful of what's happening. Why are you changing? What is occurring in your life to see this transformation and to go through the transformation? Sometimes it can be an actual motivation from yourself to change. Other times it could be a natural disaster, right? That could cause all of that. So I think for me, it really does speak to me. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 13. Blessed are those who find wisdom. And as you grow older and as you live through more experiences, and so that to me stands out. Back to you, Cassandra. Oh, and by the way,
I
Cassandra
yes.
brought the fan out.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
y'all.
I
I think
actually,
the rest of the end of this COVID is pushing its way right through my skin. I'm spritzing. I'm spritzing. I've got the fan
well,
on overhead. I had to grab something. I am sweating like a pig. It's
It
hot.
felt like church. I didn't even think you were hot. I just
My church fan.
yeah, it felt like Jay taking us to
Y'all
church.
seeing the y'all
You
seeing
got
the
the church
Southern Belle
fan.
in me? Jay took us to
well,
church.
I wanted to say though, one of the things in the transformation here that we've experienced just recently is today is the actual inaugural Cassandra Terry morning show because Cassandra Terry joined us. So there you go as far as transformation. This is actually that's a really good observation of what's happening with Transformation Tuesday.
Oh man, when we think about this experience, um this all started, me blogging, and then I put my voice to the blogs because people were saying, hey, I really like what you're, but I don't have time to read it. I'd like to listen to it in my car. So I figured that out, and eventually I started doing videos, and I would upload the videos that turned to lives. And I would do, and then the lives turned to, me on multiple platforms at the same time. And eventually Brian joined me, and he never left. He just never left. I had to scoot over and make room for my brother because the synergy was just what it was. It only made sense. And after a few days, you all were here. And just over time, it has evolved and become what it was intended to be. And guys, let me say something to everybody: progress over perfection. Remember that. Progress over perfection. If I was waiting for the perfect moment for a group of folks to show up and for me to have something called the Cassandra Terry Morning Show, it probably wouldn't have happened because it wasn't even on my radar, right? But I knew I had some stuff I wanted to say and was hoping to get it out there, and blogging was the beginning. So I started to write. And because someone said, hey, I'd love to hear it, I started to add the audio. And it has just gone from that to the next thing, to the next thing, to what you see today. And I'm putting it out there in the atmosphere right now. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. This what we're doing on social media today. The folks on TikTok and the folks on Instagram, they're here as well. They're cheering us on. Cheese, thank you for the roses. That's a wonderful addition to my day. I appreciate you so much. Sonia, I see you there, and Felicia, my mom is cheering us on. And let's see, on LinkedIn, I see Mekdi and MD. Camille says, good morning, all. Dr. Alexandria Rosa is there from Ohio. So, sometimes we have people from all over the world, from Africa, from Germany, from all over. You couldn't have made me believe that that's what was going to happen as I started to blog almost 2 years ago. It wasn't on my radar. It wasn't. But I knew that there was, and so in taking your first step, your next step will appear. You've heard me talk about this book I read years ago, Just Enough Light for the Step that I'm on. Sometimes that's easier. It's easier to maneuver when the only step that's lit for you is the next step. A lot of the options go away and you don't get overwhelmed and you can just go. Take that next step. And then in taking that gets blessed and the light shines again and you see the next step. So I just want to encourage you, progress over perfection. If there's something that's a burning desire, my mom said destiny. If there's a burning desire, listen to it, tap into it, and take that first step. You may not be able to see the end goal. You may not see what it's going to become. There were times where I was very frustrated. I was blogging and I was doing my vision board parties, and I was hosting this Bible study with some friends. I had all these things going on, and I enjoyed them all, but I couldn't see how it all fit together. And so there was some frustration in that. I was like, I feel like I'm doing a lot of stuff, but am I doing the right stuff? Does it at some point in time merge together and make sense? And that was me not minding my business, because my business was the things that I was doing right then and there and perfecting those and doing those things to the best of my abilities. How it was all going to come together, if I had saw that, maybe I would have went looking for Jay. Maybe I would have went looking for Brian and Denise and Eric. Maybe I would and found the wrong people or found them at the wrong time, because timing is everything. We almost instantly all said yes when the conversation came around, but it was the right time for each one of us. But we sometimes try to take the end in control, take control of the end, when we really just need to be focused on right now and doing that well. The end will take care of itself. This was born out of me being obedient 2 years ago and just starting a blog. That's it. Scheduling that first vision board party. That's it. I didn't know where that was going to lead. I really thought the first vision board party was a one-time thing that I was going to do with some family and friends. And that one party 2 years ago it continues to happen on a regular basis, because people reach out. When's the next one? Hey, I've got a group of friends. Could you do one for me? Hey, do you do them online? Do you travel? And so many things have come. A business was born out of that. So just be mindful and obedient to the unction of the heart, to what's pulling on you right now. Because in that is the destiny unfolding and taking you where it is that you were designed to go. Don't be so worried about the end game, because it's going to happen how it's going to happen. But if you're obedient right now, you will be absolutely amazed at what unfolds with your life. It's going to be more than you could ever imagine. Way more, because I didn't imagine any of this. What I saw as a little girl was me with a microphone in like a stadium, people standing around listening. I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know who I was talking to. And then as this started to unfold, that memory that I had as a kid started to come back to me. And I was like, oh God, I see what you're doing. I may not see exactly how it's going to unfold, but I see you putting me on a path that you planted inside of me decades ago when I was just a kid. I saw it. And so I've been in rooms with that microphone, and my business merged with the day job. They bring me in to do vision board parties and to speak at events and to motivate and talk about growth mindset. I didn't know how that was going to how that was going to work. I was like, oh, this is going to get hard. There's only so many hours in the day. And they started to merge. So just be obedient to what's pulling on you now, and you'll be amazed at where that takes you. Progress over perfection. Progress over perfection. And Jay is starting to put up some of the those of you who can see us on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube, you may see your face on the screen. Adebuse says, excellent day from Nigeria. Jay is starting to share your comments as they roll through. Thank you for doing that, Jay. My hands are full with my fan. I finally cooled off, y'all. For a minute there, I was like, ooh, they may have to take over and I'll have to go lay it back down. But we are pushing through. Coral says, yes, I like when the light shines on each step. That's faith. Exactly, Coral. Exactly. Coral's my sister from across the pond, y'all. She's over in the UK, and we just had a natural affinity to each other as soon as we met virtually. So that's another amazing person that I can't wait to meet in real life. Lisa, good morning, everyone. You are right, Cassandra Terry. That perfectionist nature still holds me back. Let go of it, Lisa. You've stepped out on faith and you're doing your audio room. You've pulled me and Favor and any into that space, and people are getting the information that they need to better take care of themselves. She does a room on women and menopause, and it's amazing. She stretched me when she reached out and asked me if I would do it. I'm like, this lady's crazy. I talk about mindset. What does she want me to do? I don't know anything about menopause except for these hot flashes that I experience from time to time. She want me to talk about my hot flashes. I can do that. She wants me to talk about that bad attitude that flares up every once in a while. I can do that. But I was like, I don't think this really makes sense. But something pulled on me. I liked Lisa and I liked what it was she was doing, and I felt a little pull towards her, and I was obedient. I followed the pull, and we had a magnificent room. I talked about what I always talk about. I talked about mindset, and what Lisa taught me through me saying yes to her is that I fit in every room. If we're talking about money, like with Leah, if we're talking about content, whatever it is that we're talking about, mindset plays a pivotal role in how you maneuver that thing. So my saying yes to Lisa, it opened up my eyes to the fact that I could say yes to any room or any opportunity that I'm interested in that aligns with my values because mindset fits there. Dr. Marcia, welcome. She said, just be obedient to what's pulling on you now. Title of my past today. The title of my post today. Are you serious? She said that's the title of her post today. Just be obedient to what's pulling on you now. So I don't know if that was already your post for the day or if hearing that has motivated you for that to be your topic. But however it unfolds, she said, what a confirmation. I absolutely cannot wait to read it. Y'all, this woman is such a deep, prolific thinker, faith-based. So she brings God with her wherever she goes, or she doesn't go without him pointing her in that direction. You can just feel it when she in what she does, and she's a motivator and an uplifter. So Dr. Marcia, I cannot wait to read it. Let's see. Adabusi said Cassandra Terry shares the headlamp principle as you're driving at night. As you move, the way opens. Awesome. That's exactly it. If you have a headlamp on, you don't see too far ahead of you. And me and my husband, we walk early in the morning, like at 5:45. It's still dark. So I have my phone out, and it's the same thing. I can't see too far ahead, but I can see the next step to take, and I can see that it's a safe step. There's no debris. I'm not going to step off the end and hurt myself. That just enough light for the step that I'm on. Excellent share, Adibuse. Thank you. Coral said, I love this topic, being obedient to what's pulling you. Woohoo. I'll be flying to America real soon by the grace of God because I'm feeling the pull and loving it. Well, I can't wait. When you hit America, I'm going to find a way to get to you. I'm in Texas, so the closer you get to Texas, the better. But I'm going to get to you, Coral. I would love that. Let's see. Oh, Dr. Marcia said that was already scheduled for 9 from yesterday. Look at that alignment, y'all. Look at that confirmation. Her post that she scheduled for yesterday for this morning is literally the title just fell out of my mouth. And I don't plan what I'm going to say. I really don't. I use the quote each day or an acrostic or something to stimulate thought and conversation between me and the fam five. And then from there, I just let it flow. Because I don't want you guys to just hear what I think and what I have to say. I see myself as a vessel, and what is supposed to come out will, if I'm obedient, and I don't structure too much. I don't want it to be about what I think or even what the fam five thinks, but when we come together, that magic happens. Let's see, I think you Coral said yes, Dr. Marcia Powell is awesome. I love her newsletters. Me too. Me too. um my mom says, you're preaching, daughter. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Let go and let God. And let's see, we've got a lot of messages on TikTok as well. Uh-oh, somebody must have oh, somebody says that not one word I'm saying lines up with God. Hey, need to read Ephesians 5 and 11. We'll take a look at it. It won't be the first time I've read it. But I don't necessarily ignore contrary comments to what I'm saying. Because I have enough respect for people. It's nice when it comes back, but it typically doesn't. When people know that they know. Because one thing God is kind, and God is graceful, and he has a way of teaching. He has a way of teaching and drawing people to him. He doesn't beat you over the head with the Bible. He doesn't seek to destroy and to humiliate. He is loving and he is kind. And I would encourage you to take on his persona, because you'll attract more people to him instead of propelling people because they feel like it's a hostile space. So that would be my encouragement. Um Ephesians 5 and 11. If you could pull that up, Jay, that would be great. Um because Richard Frazier is asking for it to be read. He teaches Ephesians 5 and 11. Good for you. Wonderful to meet you. You are worth listening to. Thank you, Nyoka. And have a good day gave me a thumbs up. So have a good day. I love her. I love her name because just saying it brings a smile to my face. Have a good day. But she's been around for a bit, and she is protective. So she was ready. She had her dander up because she thought somebody was coming for me. But I invite all points of view, and I try to set that example. Because you don't have to agree with me. You also don't have to listen to me. If what I'm saying is offensive to anybody, um, um, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not trying to fight, but all you saying is feel good stuff to get likes, not of God. Oh, I'm not interested in the likes. If that's what I was interested in, then I wouldn't read your comments. So what, and if I'm saying feel good stuff, it's because that's what's coming to me and that's what's coming through me. I know God in the way that I know God, and I know the ministry that he's raising in me. And you obviously have a different ministry, but there's room for all of us. What it is that you teach and how you teach it is going to draw people who need that. Some people need to feel good. And but I'm not lining up with God according to you, Richard, and that's okay. That is a-okay. God and I have our own relationship, and I appreciate your prayers. God and I have our own relationship, and it doesn't have to be dictated by you or anybody else. I'm interested in Ephesians 5 and 11, Jay. What's so contrary about it to what we're talking about?
Nothing. I just Ephesians 5 and 11 is basically have. Well, I'll read it. Have nothing to do with the bad things done in the darkness. Instead, show that these things are wrong.
Hmm.
Okay, I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I
I
think that's what
agree.
we're doing.
I agree with that. I don't think, and I never intend. And if I do, you guys, make it plain. But yeah, I don't ever intend rather to glorify wrongdoings. I don't think there's anything wrong with with being with transformation and talking about the good things in life. So we will agree to disagree. And Richard, you have a blessed day, how you have it, and we are going to do the same. All right. So
Yeah.
next up, Dr. Marcia says, agree with you, Cassandra. If you are of God, you are kind and you lovingly confront. You don't cause and tear down. You teach and guide. Um, and the LinkedIn user says that the chapter talks about the fruits of the spirit. Yeah, kindness and good stuff is definitely a part of the fruits of the spirit. So let's get back to our quote for the day. To exist is to change is to mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly. So we heard from Jay. I think the next person in the room was you, Denise. So let me mute and let's hear what it is that you would like to share this morning.
Good morning. I had to come inside. My battery was telling me it was going to go off. I did not want to miss the conversation. So I'm so glad that I did. Um, Grand Rising, you guys, from the beautiful island of Grenada. I'm here with Sharon Simmons as we were preparing to teach a workshop, and we have been invited to teach it again. So we'll be doing it again on Saturday. We're very excited about that. What I have to say about the quote is not so much about the quote as it is how it makes me think about the way I used to think when I was younger. You know, as human beings, we feel like we make a mistake when something goes wrong in our life. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. But something goes wrong. Life is that. It's ebbs and flows. Things go well, things go bad. However you look at it, it's always going to be this ever changing thing that happens. And I used to kind of beat up on myself when things didn't go exactly as I thought they should have gone. Or if something went wrong, I would be like, oh, I should have known better, or I should have done better, or I should be better, or I should be more mature. I would always look at myself because I felt like the only person I could control was myself. So I would look for a way to correct myself. I would look in the mirror and just be like, God, what could you do better? So this never happens again. And in now growing and maturing, I know that life is going to keep lifing. It doesn't always look perfect, right? I don't have to look in the mirror and be like, what could I have done to prevent this? What did I do wrong? Where did I misstep? God, help me. No, it's a part of life. And that's part of my maturing and my accepting that change comes and I can constantly create and be more effective and learn from it. And it took me some time to get there. To be honest, sometimes I'm still that other version of myself where I look in the mirror and I try to figure out, what did I do wrong? How could I have done better? And it's from being surrounded by people like you and Jay and Eric and Brian that I know I don't have to beat up on myself. You know, Brian told me before, he said, stop saying you're impatient. I have stopped saying that since he said, stop saying you're impatient. You are patient. You have little tolerance for BS, and that's okay. And I was like, my brother is right. I am a patient person, but I recognize a lot of BS early and maybe earlier than other people because I have a law enforcement background. So I see it real quick, you know, and I don't spend much time on it. And instead of feeling like I'm judging the other person, I usually will look to myself and say, you need to be more patient. Actually, no, I don't. I don't need to tolerate BS. So I am a patient person, and that's part of my maturity, and that's part of my growing. And I appreciate also, want to say totally off it is on topic because of the comments. I appreciate about you, Cassandra, that you are giving space and time and patience and tolerance and love, compassion, kindness to every comment, even those that don't agree with you. So I just wanted to say that I really appreciate that about you. And that's how I address anything else that comes in, whether it's considered positive or negative. It's how you address it through love and kindness and patience and tolerance. Because if you were just about anything else, if you were just about shining your own light, trying to say, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me over here. Hey, look at me over here. I'm Cassandra. You wouldn't do that. You would only address the ones that make you look good, and you don't have to make yourself look good because you shine bright, sister. So I love you for that. I love your approach, and I really thank you for that, because every time you're doing something like that, I learn how to be a little more patient and how to be a little more tolerant. And I'm always thinking it's like I'm I'm like the big elephant in the china shop. I'm not Cassandra. I ain't always smooth. I might throat check somebody, but I know not to even address it because I got Cassandra and she's handling it. So thank you for your fine example, sister. You are an example of what excellence looks like, the blueprint for it. And I'm so happy and really honored to be here.
I appreciate you, Denise. Thank you very much. Sometimes I'm a bull in the china shop as well, and sometimes others are, and they don't even recognize it. Satan knew the Bible better than anybody. So just because you can recite it doesn't mean your heart is aligned, and your actions and how you treat people speaks to who you are way more than anything that you can recite. I can recite all kinds of poems. It doesn't make me the poet that actually wrote it. It doesn't mean that I've picked up their persona. So we all have to, I give space, and we all have to live and learn, and everybody has room. And you also can create your own space. If you have a message and it's important to you to get your message out, set up your own room and go do that. But if you're destructive in your teaching the word of God or anything else, there's something off there. There's something off. All right. So I think the next person in the room was Eric. So Eric, out there on your beautiful swing, go ahead and share with us what you have this morning.
I was gonna ask if you want to go first. I see your reception has been in and out. If you want to go first, B, you can. I'll follow you, sir. If not, I'll go. Go ahead. Okay. I'll say I can't hear you, but I can see you. Okay. All right, brother. Yeah. Um, Thank you and good morning. This is the inaugural Cassandra Terry Morning Show. So I'm so appreciative and grateful to be here. I feel like my sister Denise, I'm honored to be here. It felt like it came about in the synergy and the energy of our conversation, uh, just just the same way that we came about. And so I'm just blown away. I stayed up last night thinking about just the different segments and the cutaways, and would Cletus make an appearance this morning? How could we interact with him? Just thinking about all the different ways and variations, and I was marrying the Cassandra Terry Morning Show with In Living Color, and the brilliance of a Dan Wayans, and the brilliance of a Jim Carrey. I think he was James Carrey at that time, right before he even moved to Jim Carrey. And so I was just thinking about the brilliance um, uh, in my youth, in the group dynamic of In the Living Color, um, and a Saturday Night Live, and uh, not comparing it, but just uh, using it as a blueprint, as a foundation to imagine where the Cassandra Terry Morning Show will go, where Mr. Content will push us to, where Denise will love us to, where Cassandra Terry will lead us to, where Jay's greatness will take us to, right? What rooms will we enter um, following Jay? And so that's what I was struck by this morning, is just the dreams of last night, the visions of the collaboration, the spirit of collaboration, the love that we have for one another, and how that's uh, been in every conversation, every interaction that we've had. The ability for us to give flowers to one another. No one cares about who gets the credit. Um, we all lead, but we all follow. And so just the love, the passion of this group, the honor that I feel being a part of it, this being the inaugural Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Um, I wouldn't rather be anywhere else. And so I'm feeling honored and blessed in the moment. And that's what I wanted to share. Just my appreciation, my gratitude, my love for this group. And this is just the beginning. As you said, Cassandra, and I wrote down, it started with the vision board. It started with this just singular idea. It started with um, a blog, and then CBS will see you in 6 months, because we're on our way. And so I'm just grateful and appreciative. And I'll give it back to you, Cassandra. Thank you.
Thank you,
Can you
Eric.
hear
I'm
me?
starting to
Okay.
see quite a bit of churning. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's anybody else's connection, but hopefully we're still live. Coral said, Eric, I love the sun shining over your shoulder. And Lisa said, Eric looks so peaceful on his swing. Love it. So, yes, people are seeing what you're bringing, Eric. He brings the outdoors with him every day. And I see B is out as well today. So, B, you are up. I would love to hear what today's conversation and what the quote, what it triggered in you. What are you thinking?
Wow, I'm thinking I'm loving this Cassandra Terry morning show vibe for real. This is, man, I never thought I'd be on a morning show, and to not only be like present in a morning show, but to be an active host of a morning show. This is amazing. Like, you want to talk about transformation? A year ago, I wouldn't even put my voice on tape, and here I am with my face on camera. I can't believe it. That's transformation for me. But to address the quote, to exist is to change is to mature, and to mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly. That's such a powerful quote, and it's so understated that you'll miss the power in it if you're just reading the quote. But let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go to what Eric said, the dreams of yesterday, right? Think about all of the things that you wanted at one time, and look where you are now. Like, you fought hard to get here, and that was a whole journey. And because you're here now, you've forgotten that metamorphosis that you encountered to get here. You know, there was a show me and my youngest would watch when she was a baby, and it was the Furchesters. And the Furchesters used to always talk about the chrysalis. And I don't know if people know what a chrysalis is, but it's that thing that the caterpillar goes into before they become the butterfly. And that, I look at the chrysalis not as a actual thing, but as a state of being, a state of mind. Like, we all go into a chrysalis at some point in time. That was another rhyme, Jay. You have to you have to embrace the process. Cora said something about it this morning, step by step. And when I went for a run before daybreak this morning, and I was looking over. When I went for the run, I didn't go in the neighborhood this morning. This morning I went into my kids' park, and the trees, there are a lot of trees that fell back there, so I had to move them out of the way in order for me to run down the track. And while I was doing that, it was cold in some spots. But then when the sun started to come up, I would hit another spot, and that warmth from the sun gave me enough energy and enough drive to keep going. And I hit that next spot, and I'm still going. And I go back around, I hit another tree, and it's cold right there. And then I move it out the way, and boom, there go another little piece of sun, and I'm steadily hitting it. And I really believe that's how we have to look at life. Like, you have to see your life as a test of trials and hurdles to overcome, and not something that you should avoid. You should expect it. You should embrace it. You should enjoy it. And you should know that every step of the way, you're getting better day by day. Every single step of the way, you're getting better day by day. With that break of sunlight, with every step in the fight, you can feel yourself growing and becoming this butterfly, this person to take flight. Take your wings and step into that new you. And don't feel like, at any point in time that it's over, that you can't continue to be that person you wanted to be. It's just a matter of time. That's what the quote said for me today. And I think about it because I'm always going through something. I'm always going through something because I'm a child of God and I know it. And when you know that, you have got to understand that the adversary is looking at you harder than the person that is giving up, because you're still fighting. You know, that's not to say at any point in time you can't be taken out, but you still got this fight in your mind to say, you know what? Today is going to be my day. And if you wake up with that mindset every single day, every day is your day. And the adversary is coming. So expect those trees to fall, expect those cold moments, but know that there's also another side to that that's coming with that ray of sunlight, that's coming with that little bit of encouragement. I find encouragement in the Fam Five every single day. I make it a point, whatever I'm doing, to make sure I'm on here every single day so that I have that encouragement to keep going in spite of what may come my way.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for that, B. Thank you for that. Man, we took some twists and turns today. Well, we're Coral said amen, amen, and amen. So we are gonna read the quote one more time, and then we're gonna wrap up. I've got to get to the next part of my day. And Man, it's been a day. It's been a day. Sonia said, love it all. So the quote once again, to exist is to change is to mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly. I don't know. I missed the when I copied it, I missed the author of that quote. So I'll have to, I think I shared it though on each of the links. If I didn't, I'll have to go back and add that. But to exist is to change is to mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly. So I want to thank you guys so much for being with us for the inaugural the beginning of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. You guys like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all have been doing this every day forever. And it's true. But sometimes you realize what you have. We sometimes we get so busy just doing and being and following the path that you don't realize that something has happened. I fell into my business. I didn't realize that that was happening until some time had passed and a few phone calls had come in and I was starting to get the request and I was like, "Oh, I've got something here." And that's kind of what has happened with this, from the blog to where we are today. This group of us, and actually formalizing it and seeing it as a show and putting that out in the atmosphere, and knowing that this is something that can be packaged and shown in different ways. So we are experimenting with what it is and how it should be, and the transformation will continue. The transformation is happening every day. We can't even see it all. This is the light for the step that we're on right now. Where this is all going to lead us is TBD. It's yet to be determined, but we're going to faithfully follow as those lights appear, and see what is next. Coral said, thanks, Eric, for showing the light. So there you go. That is it for today, guys. Each of us has our individual pages. If you're not following us, please follow, um, and connect with us. We're coaches from different points of view. I'm all about mindset. Hold on, let me mute you, Brian. There we go. I'm
Got a
all
little
about
joke, got a little joke for you.
Okay, let me hear it.
You said TBD, and I just had to say, just as an inside joke, FTD, and I think everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yep. And who? Yes. I got you. And so we're gonna close the first episode of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. We will be back tomorrow for Thankful Thursday. So you guys start to think about right now, what are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? And think about that throughout the day and watch how it lifts your spirits. And we will be back tomorrow and share more. Those of you who are you guys, we didn't talk at all about your book, Brian, or about any of our upcoming events and things like that. So we're out of time for today, but what we can do is drop the comments in so that everyone can find us and find our links. And if you guys want to know more, please like, share, and follow, and get in touch with us and let us know what's on your mind. Leave it in the comments. Mekde says, thank you all. Have a great day. Same to you. We will be back here tomorrow, 7:15 Central, for Thankful Thursday. And I'm looking forward. No, wait. Tomorrow's just Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, don't
tomorrow's
make
Wednesday.
me older here, Cassandra.
I know the COVID brain kicked in again. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So tomorrow will be Wake Up Wednesday. And on Wake Up Wednesday, we talk about being intentional and the importance of intentionality in your life. You guys do not want to miss it. It is a tool. It is a tool that will propel you forward towards your goals. And we will all, from our own points of view, share our insights on intentionality. So we look forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow, 7:15 a.m. Central. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.
Bye.